The weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong. Mahatma Gandhi. Are you weak or are you strong? Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, family, friends, and guests. Psychologists define forgiveness as that conscious and deliberate decision to release resentment and vengeance towards a person or a group of persons that have done harm to us, whether or not we believe they deserve our forgiveness. What do you think superheroes do? Do you think Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman exercise releasing resentment and vengeance as a way of forgiving their villains? Maybe. It certainly looks pretty physical in nature. We all love it when the superhero pummels the villain, right? Okay, well, maybe that's a little bit more about good versus evil than it is forgiveness. But I don't want to make this complicated. I had been on this journey to define what it means to forgive. What does it look like? I believe forgiveness is a superpower because you have to be incredibly brave to release someone that's done harm to you. We all know that resentment is toxic, even for a superhero. And what is a superhero these days? Wonder Woman, we know, is a fictional character. But if we were to look up the definition of a hero, we would find that there are some true superheroes among us. They are extraordinary. They've learned to forgive the most heinous of indiscretions. Lest we forget, on U.S. soil alone, the Oklahoma City bombings, the September 11th attacks, and then, of course, Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting, one of U.S.'s worst mass murders in history. Scarlett Lewis is a superhero. She is the mother of a boy named Jesse. Jesse was 6 years old when his life was tragically taken in 2012, along with 26 other souls at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Here we are 8 years later, and Scarlett continues to be a crusade for overcoming losing her son to showing compassion for Adam Lanza, the man that took Jesse's life. And she understands why people can't comprehend why she chose to forgive Adam. But if you listen to her, her story is really simple. Anger was dragging her down. She reverted that anger into creating Newtown Helps Rwanda, an organization that helps genocide Rwandan students attend college. All from this notion of forgiveness. When I read that story, I wanted to send her a superhero cape because she is undoubtedly one of the brave ones. I was in college not too many years ago, and I met someone. His name was Steve, for the innocent. Steve was everything to me. He was going to be the man I marry, the man I had my children with. He was my partner for life. Okay, I barely knew him, but it only took me 2 months, and I was madly in love. My freshman year. Too soon? Evidently, because Steve had other plans. He was secretly seeing Angela. Raise your hand if you've been in love and hurt to the core. I didn't know how I was going to forgive him. I told myself I can either love him unconditionally, lower my expectations, or ban him from my circle. I was young, and I was angry. Of course I didn't forgive him. I banished him from my life forever. And then you know what? Years later, I hurt. When I initially took on this project, I even asked a few of my closest friends what their concept of forgiveness was. And there was one word that permeated our conversation: unconditional love. Death of an ego is birth to a vision. I read that once. It means we have to let go of egos and anger in order to be our best selves. And hurt, it just gets in the way. That which we love the most is where we hurt the most. And when it's compromised, either through a tragedy of a loss or ending a relationship, we have to turn that sorrow and contempt into compassion and forgiveness. Forgiveness is indeed an innate preservance of happiness. If we don't find love in the deepest points of hate and hurt, we will just wither away. I found out the hard way. I had hurt and vengeance just added to my pain. And I was bound to Steve whether I wanted to or not. Wonder Woman defeats her villain, I believe, to preserve her well-being. And Scarlett Lewis, she's an epitome of optimism after loss. I so understand. Forgiveness is not what we do for others. It's what we do for ourselves. If Wonder Woman can forgive, and Scarlett can forgive, Leslie can forgive. I have learned if we write our hurts in sand and carve our joy in the stone, we truly heal. The definition of forgiveness is unconditional love of yourself. So be brave. Forgive. It certainly makes you stronger. Strong enough to fight another day. Thank you.